Raquel hace families.
Amiga, what picture do that me and mechanic.
All right, so we are live now on Facebook and on YouTube. Can someone just go to Party Girl and check? Let's confirm. I will do that too. So we are giving you just 2 minutes to remind all the people you have invited. Welcome, welcome to Party Girl, Child for the Woman Campaign and Bone Health Awareness third edition. Third edition. If you've been here, if you've been attending this meeting, of course, you can attest to it that it has been amazing. It has been an amazing meeting. It has been, in fact, a meeting that will give you enough information and knowledge. So please invite people. If you're a man and you are here, please invite all the women in your life. And if you're a woman, you are here, please, let's go out there and send the link so that our fellow women, mothers, young people, young teenage, everyone, we want them to be on the Zoom. And also you can also connect with us live on Facebook. We are landing on Party Girl, Child and Woman page. All right, are we ready? Are we excited? I'm just sharing. Let me quickly share and share and share.
I'm
on requirement here.
All right. Okay, yes, we are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook. All right. Let me share. Okay. I wanted to let me copy the link and share on WhatsApp so that people can also join us. Lida Estella, did you get the Facebook page?
Yes, I did, Choma. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to Party Girl, Party Woman Campaign and Bone Health Awareness. This is the third edition. This is the third edition of this particular program or this particular show. What is Party Girl? What is Party Woman? What are we talking about today? Bone Health Awareness. Of course, that is why we are here today on this Zoom. And if you're watching us on Facebook, that is why you are here. So please, quickly, I would want you to send an emoji, fire emoji, because you will be living here today with so much knowledge and information, just like we've always, been doing. So please, can you send an emoji, fire emoji, to welcome everyone that has joined us and welcome yourself? Because if you are here, believe me, you are a special woman. I always tell women, I say, woman, you are too much. You are special. And of course, the men, you are more than too much, if there is a word like that. Because without the men, of course, there wouldn't have been women. Permit me to say, because it was out of Adam that a woman was created. That is why I'm saying that. And of course, for men that are here today, thank you for supporting the women. I have a leader from Belize. He always attend Party Girl because he said he wants to focus in his country concerning this particular movement. So if men are coming out to join this campaign, then women we should be at the forefront. So tell us where you joined us from, because we want to welcome you. We want to say shout out to you because you are a special person in our midst today. So if you joined on Facebook, can you quickly chat in there so that we can recognize you, we can know? Tell us where you joined from, tell us where you connected from. And if you're here live with us on Facebook, on Zoom, just tell us, chat us and tell us the country you joined from. We are pleased to have you. Thank you everyone for joining. And of course, you know me, of course, very well. And for those of you that don't know me, look at me. I'm always your happy person. I'm always your Pastor C. I am Choma Omoma Edosa. I'm a Long Beach brand ambassador and a stockist. I'm an educator and also a life insurance agent. I do so many things, but one thing I focus now is this movement. Can you please start there? Part a girl, because it's my heartbeat now. It's a vision, not just only me, but we have women that we have come together to say there is something, there is a knowledge that we have. There is something we have discovered, and we don't want to keep this to ourselves. We want every woman to be part of it. And that is where we are in collaboration with Girls Guide Association in Nigeria to make sure that this movement, this particular knowledge, this information gets to everyone. That is where we are on Zoom. That is where we are inviting people. And believe me, like I said, what you will gain here today is going to add so much value in your life and every lady, to the life of every lady, every child that you need. So welcome once again. Welcome once again. I celebrate you all. I celebrate you all. I celebrate you all. Woo! Okay, of course, without wasting so much of our time, we will be starting, we are kicking off immediately with our first speakers. This is the amazing women we are having today. Please celebrate them for me. Celebrate them with some love. Celebrate them. Please send those love. Let it keep coming in. Let it keep coming in. These are the amazing women we are having here. But our main guest speaker for today, just like we've already had in other section, is Leader. Oh, I love this woman so much. We connected some few months ago, but it's like we've known ourselves for years. She's my dear sister. I can call her anytime, any day, and she's there. Of course, she's my children's favorite aunt, even though they've not met her, but she's an amazing person. Who am I talking about today? She is Mrs. Estella Yahaya Balogu, but everyone calls her Estella or ST. So after this meeting, by the knowledge and information you will get, you will choose what you want to call her. Yes, I call her coach too. I call her tech guru. She is a professional in whatever she does. She believes in everything being perfect, accurate. That's one thing I love her for. She's a Nigerian, but she is based in the United States with her hubby, who is also a business partner with her. I love this couple so much. She works on projects that requires, herself to be there for 12 hours, 6 days in a week. She runs a shop, both online, offline, she's everywhere. She's a superwoman, I believe you. Believe me, she's somebody you would want to mentor you. Yes, she runs a shop in African country and also in the US here. Official Tony Elume. Wow, Tony Elumelu mentor. Wow, MBA holder. This is great. I'm just hearing this for the first time. Wow, I don't know that I'm dealing with such a person. Ooh, good to connect. There are amazing people that you need in your life. Believe me, there are people you need to connect with. And I appreciate you for coming here today to connect with Leader Estella. She's also into real estate in the USA. She's a mentor to many. She's a mentor inner city kids in the Houston area, youth coordinator of some groups in the US. So you can of course tell to yourself the kind of person who is here to address us on this Part a Girl campaign. So she has been working with people, not just for 1-2 years. She has been working with people for years. You can see how she has something to do with children. She has something to do with youths. She is a youth coordinator too. She is a UN delegate for women and children societies. She's an engineer by profession, oil and gas professional with over 15 years experience. O&G consultancy service. Wow. She's also a co-author of a book on how to pivot, writing a new book on mindset. She's a Long Reach brand ambassador, a Diamond 7, and a star director in making. So house with a fire emoji, Please let's welcome our main speaker for today, Mrs. Engineer, Coach, whatever you want to call her, Mother, whatever you want to call her, Estella Yahaya Balogu. Ooh, I was celebrating. I want to see those fires.
Oh my God. Oh my God,
see those
Chioma.
fire. I want to see those fire emoji. Let me see. Oh, where are you? I want to pin you. Where are
Pastor
you?
C, all these things you were saying, I wish sure it's me Pastor C is talking about. I'm just the girl next door. You people should forget Pastor C. What you see is what you get. Hi, everyone. Welcome today to our meeting. Pastor C has been chasing me to do this. Pastor C, if I recall, I initially told you no. I said no, But the fact is today, honestly speaking, and I want to speak from the heart, I had thought, oh, okay, let me do slides, let me do, all those things. You know me, prima and proper information, facts and figures, right? We will share a few, but honestly, today, I rather would speak from the heart because this is something that is very personal to me. And prior to this part, the girl became a noise. Now, why I'm saying it's noise is a lot of people have jumped on it and are doing it also, all for the greater good. I agree. It's something I personally have been doing for over 3 years, at least directly, and it's something I do quietly most times. This is the first year I started to ask people, okay, join hands with us to do some things. My team alone, we've shared over at least 200, what am I saying, over 300 boxes as we're speaking right now. Wow. So I tend to do a lot of my stuff quietly, but the fact is, it's a very necessary and critical thing we are doing and we're pushing, because the more we speak to people, the more we're finding out that people actually don't have the knowledge. They don't understand it. And we are going through so many things. Women are going through so many things right now that are avoidable. Simple, basic hygiene. Menstrual hygiene that girls should be taught and things that should be shared at home. Well, the first thing is that you cannot even teach your own daughter what you don't know. Let's start with that. Right. But secondly, truly life has changed. It's not the same that it used to be before. Parents are out there trying to make it. So the attention to even talk to the girls, teach proper menstrual hygiene is not there, and then poverty is part of it, part of our work during our work and research. We found where girls are using rags. I saw the rags. I wept so much that day. I couldn't believe it, and some even circle the rags. So my period comes before you. So we'll use it to wash it. And then, look, there are things I've heard that really break one's heart when you hear it, and that is why we're pushing this and trying to teach more so the menstrual hygiene, and then also talking particularly about the long reach sanitary napkins, which are very good and quite different from most of the sanitary napkins we have out there. So, Pastor C, do we have any slides of the pad?
Okay, yes,
I will. You have a picture or something?
Yes, I will get. Yes, I will get picture of the slide. But okay. I know you are a very passionate person. You've already started from your passion.
It's from my heart. It's from my heart. And I have a personal story with the pads, as you know. I've shared my story with you.
And this is something that is like an urgent call. Like, wow, I so much appreciate you that even before now you've started this campaign. There are so many of us who, when we discover something, we just try to, be personal about it. whatever that, people out there are using is not of concern. I have this knowledge, it's good for me, let me use it and my family. But you decided to go, extra mile. You started doing this campaign since 3 years ago. Like I was saying, this burden came to me. I've been in long reach, but it has not really occurred to me. Do I share this part, let people get this information about and all that? Like was it last year? The Girls Guide Association, called me and they said they want me to be their matron and all that. I said, okay, well, I remember when I was a child, I was in Brownie Girls Guide. I said, well, this is maybe an opportunity to also give back to the society. So since that time, they always call us every year. No, it's in 2019. So each year, they always have this campaign, Pad a Girl. So they will write all the mentors to donate pad. Just look at me. With the knowledge I have, let me confess, I was not donating long reach pad. I would just donate money. But early this year, no, it was last year when they called, I said, no, I have better knowledge about that pad. I gave them money and I gave them pad. But early this year, that burden came. It was so heavy. I said, if you have link with Girls Guide and they've been doing this thing and you have been in this business, you know about this pad, why don't you change from because the money you give, they will use it to also buy all those pads out there that we are speaking against. Why don't you use it? Give them this pad. I'm telling you, since we started this campaign, we have donated over 500. In fact, I started it by faith from my pocket. I just told them, go and pick the pads and all that. And it has been testimony upon test. So I really appreciate you for seeing this before so many of us. So please, I know you have shared a little bit. I just want, because so many people have been saying this, pad a girl, pad a woman, pad a girl child. They don't actually know what this movement is about. Is it about long reach members? Is it about long reach distributors? We want you to share with us why this should be a concern of every father. I remember those days I was in secondary school. I remember I shared it the last meeting we had. It was a guy, a male. My mate that was our main speaker also confirmed that. He was the one coming to our school, girls secondary school, to teach us on hygiene, on how to use pad. So many of us, so many young children can't even share with their mother. Sometimes some share with their father. So why this should be, a heartbeat, a concern to every father, every mother, everyone that has female around us. So please share with us why this movement, why pad a girl pad? Because it's not only a girl child. I know people said, okay, the women already have issues, but there are things that can be corrected. But the girls, they are the ones we are trying to recover. We want to save them from all these things. So please, can you please quickly share with us why this movement? Thank you.
Well, this movement is necessary because based on research, you know me, I'm a research-based person. I always come from there. Let the science, let the facts speak for itself. First, I want to say something. Whether we like it or not, I don't know if we've noticed, women especially, I'll be talking more to the women today, of course, especially that we have a rise in a lot of gynecological issues amongst young women, and even older women, more than our parents did that time. You understand? So what has the research shown? The research has shown, honestly speaking, that most of the sanitary napkins that are being used right now out there in the market is or contains chemicals, right, that are carcinogenic in nature and cause other gynecological issues for the young ladies, young women, all using it, right? And studies have shown that 62% of all vaginal problems and issues are caused by unsterilized sanitary napkins. And also 75% of women experience itching and pain during menstrual period, which is largely caused and tied to the use of the sanitary napkin, the type that they're using, which is air permeable. Most of these pads we see on the market right now or are being used on the market are made from materials that are not pure cotton, which should be. Let me take you back, right, a little bit. I'll share a little story. My grandmother in the village, showed me, I was old enough to still see her towards her menopause side, so a little period will come out. And she showed me how in the olden days, they used to pad themselves. They used cloth to that time. And there was a way they would wrap it and stop. And they will wash it and wash it clean. But don't forget, the wrappers of that time, the cloth of that time, all pure cotton. There was no, what's this material now that we have that makes everything very cheap? That they make Ankara from now that is mixed, with polyester, right? There are no plastics. So most of them did not end up with all these gynecological issues we're seeing right now. The fibroids, the pains, all these things. They don't have. Well, what has been found, and these are things you can Google and find out by yourself. So it's not that Estella is speaking out of turn. Please, after this, go and Google. Most of these pads are made from materials, like I said, plastic and other stuff. Actually, even your newspaper can be inside your pad. All this recycled paper we're talking about, yes, they bleach it with a chemical called dioxin. And dioxin has been shown to cause cancer in women and other gynecological issues, right? So why are we pushing this? Why are we trying to show or to work with the girls now? Because when you start early and you change and correct things at that age, or younger, you will not have the problems later. So we are going in that way so that it is more of a preventive. We're being proactive in this case, right? So it's preventive rather than mitigating. It's preventive rather than mitigating. You can imagine we have all this knowledge and we keep quiet and they continue to use these bad pads. We don't teach proper hygiene and stuff. And then what happens? We will now have to mitigate a problem later, which is what? All the fibroids, all the stuff. And that is exactly what happened to me. I will share my story a little bit today. I normally don't talk about it too much with people because I told even Pastor C when we spoke, I told that the reason I have not shared my full story is because to me it's not complete yet. When it's complete, I'll make noise everywhere. But she asked me for the sake of this to share a little bit, so I will share it today. You see, I started menstruating at age 13 and it came with pain immediately and nobody could figure out what was going on or happening. I'm talking candidly from the heart today. If I say anything that makes you unhappy, please forgive me, but I'm speaking from the heart. So what happened was, of course, me, I was born during the era of pads. So we got into using pads and all that. After a while, once I go, and nothing changed. I still used to suffer those pains. In fact, I tend to be useless for about 5 days to a week of every month. Fast forward, I have used tampons. I have used all sorts of stuff. And then I ended up, eventually, they found out I had endometriosis, fibroids, all sorts of things. Look, name it, they said I have it. Let's put it that way, blocked tubes and all that. I've had 4 fibroid surgeries in my lifetime, 4, and then we came to the end of the road. By that time, I was living here in the US, and there was a cyst, a very big cyst on my left ovary. And the doctor, my gynae, who is one of the top-notch doctors here where I live, said, Estella, we've reached the point that there's nothing we can do for you. At this stage, what we want to do is we will just take out everything, leave you with 1 ovary so that you don't go into menopause immediately, and suffer other things. And I told her, I've heard you, that's your report, that's not God's report, and I'm not doing it. And my doctor says she cannot see me any longer because I refused or was put in front of me. At that time, I had started praying seriously. I had started doing already serious research because I personally felt that there was something off. I don't know why, but my mind went there, that there was something off with the sanitary napkins we were using and tampons. So I started to do deep research and stuff. And that's how I came across Longreach pads, and that was the first product. So I always tell people this is a product that brought me into Longreach. I said, okay, let me try it out, and see the pads, the panty liner. Of course, please, I must tell you that I was still doing what I was supposed to do with my doctor, right? So Longreach was a support. to whatever I was doing. But don't forget, I've been seeing my doctors for years, and I've been seeing now, I had to get a new doctor. So I changed over to a male gynae, and we started to work and to see how we'll help Estella have a better quality of life, you know? So I jumped on and got the pads, and I started to use them. Let me tell you the first thing I noticed. First thing I noticed was month 1, when I used it. Day 1, I had slight pain. Day 2, fiam, nothing. Till date, this is 3 years later. Till date, no pain, 0. You know, this is me who has suffered from age 13 till 40 something with pain. Every month menstrual pain. Everybody knows me and knows my story already, you know? And then just within 1 month of using a sanitary napkin that they said will probably help, why do you think I won't tell everybody about it? You can imagine you have a daughter that goes through this horrible menstrual cramps. You see your daughter suffering, you cannot help her. I know how many times my parents would look at me helpless because they can't help me in any way, right? You understand what I mean? I practically became almost like a druggie. Right now, I don't take any painkiller unless I can't help it. It has to be very bad pain. Because of the amount of painkillers I've consumed over my lifetime, just because of this singular problem, right? So these pads and panty liners have helped me. I've shared a little of my story today, but there is a reason behind it, right? So let us go back to what we're talking about, really, because I see a lot of people, they don't have the right information and things like that. So I want to share a few things with you. You first have to understand what happens to our bodies as women when we menstruate, right? So I don't want to go into the science. This is basic science that they all teach us why there's a menstrual flow every month. So I'll not go into that. But rather, I want us to picture and understand what happens as we're using these sanitary napkins and pads that we normally use, right? So when you wear these air permeable pads, right? You know, you put a pad in between you and there's this warmth that develops, you know, between your body. Most of us even feel a bit warm and feverish during our periods, right? And then, you know, so between the pad and your private pad, the moisture from the blood itself, when you have those pads, becomes a breeding ground for germs. It basically starts, for lack of a better word, fermentation, right? It starts to ferment, it starts to go south. That's why most of you, after, if you wear a pad for a very long time, when you take it off, there is some smell that comes out, you know? Fermentation takes place. So the reason the pads are smelly because of that, right? So according to the WHO report that I dug into and read a lot about, that when a woman wears a pad for 2 hours, you know, about 107 different germs develop per cubic centimeter of the surface area. Now, I'm a science-based person. In my mind, all I'm seeing is a petri dish of germs and things just happening right there under you. And we all know, women, that place is a very sensitive area, opening right into your body and many things traveling, you know? We know the makeup, the vagina, the uterus, and all that, the womb. You can imagine that whole area. You know, you're sitting down on pad, it's breeding germs, and it's sending those things back up into you with those kind of pads. Because the issue is that most of the pads in the market also, Chioma, can you help me just keep an eye and mute people? Is kind of breaking my concentration because I'm in a zone right now. You know, most of the pads in the market actually do not pull in and hold that blood inside. So all those things are going up and then it will send back inside. That's why some of us, after your period, after some time, you still see some very horrible, ugly looking black blood and weird stuff coming out. Anyway, just in case you don't know. So when pressure is applied on the pad through sitting, because paper is not absorptive enough, the pad will allow backflow. That's what I just said, of the blood into the woman's reproductive systems with all the germs and with the chemical from the pad, you know, causing infection in the reproductive system. Now, a lot of women don't know about that, of course, so it will cause a lot of discomfort. Infection grows there easily, you know, and we start to go into the other things that happen. And then now we're in the phase that we are having to mitigate things we could have easily stopped. So far, or, you know, some of the things we see because of these things is that, you know, the infections develop and you end up with conditions like fibroid, hemorrhoids, cancer of the cervix, cancer of the uterus, ovaries, tubes are blocked, you know, menstrual disorders and things like that. So I'm sure we get the idea of what I'm trying to say right now. Sorry, my mind was going somewhere. So I'm sure we get the idea of what I'm trying to say right now, but just know that most of these pads in the market, first, because of the material they are made from, secondly, because of actually what happens when we menstruate. When you are using the wrong kind of pad, you are most likely to end up with more infections or some problems later in life. The reason why our mothers did not have it so much, honestly, is because I know during their time, their pads were actually made out of pure cotton, because then people were not trying to cut corners, or they were actually using those rags, like I told you about my grandmother who shared with me, and those were also made out of pure cotton. But how many of them do we find right now out there? No, we don't. So what does poor pad quality, you know, cause for most of us, our women, our girls, our children? You know, external vaginal inflammations, you know, irritations, as we know, some of us have experienced it, itchy skin on the private part, cervical inflammation and erosion, endometrial inflammation, endometriosis. I just mentioned that that's one of the things I've suffered from, excessive discharge, heat or searing pain in the lower abdomen, fever, you know, causes people to feel nauseous and sick. You know, even causes, you know, people to have pain when urinating, aching body, sore waist and everything, fatigue, you know, herpes. We see all sorts of things. Also, of course, heavy periods, light periods, spotting in between periods, you know, a lot of things happen to the women during this, along with some hormonal imbalance. So, fact is, menses is a natural process. We're not going to run away from it. It's going to be with us. Most of us women will menstruate, quite frankly, I think for probably most of our lives, you know, for a longer part of our lives, you know, and at least 40 years or 50 years, some more than. Right now, we see a lot of our girls starting to menstruate a lot earlier too than before, because food we eat has changed. There are so many things, you know, so we see 9-year-olds, even 8-year-olds starting to menstruate. And you can imagine starting to menstruate from that time all the way to in your late 50s or 60s for some people. That's a lot of time. So we're going to use sanitary napkins for a long time to come, and why not attempt to use the best one we have. Now, what is the best sanitary napkin? The best sanitary napkin should be one that is made of 100% natural materials, right? For the fact and what we're talking about and the connection to all other things that are woman, right? As a reproductive system, we should go out of our way to make sure that we use the best pads, especially for our kids and stuff going forward. The reason is this: natural materials, so that we don't get all these other chemicals that they put to bleach the rest, just so that pads will be cheaper or they can produce more of them, or whatever reason. We know why people manufacture things. I'm not even going into that because that's a business discussion. But 100% cotton, which enhances softness and freshness, as it makes them permeable to air, eliminating that moisture and heat I talked about in the non-permeable pads that we see. It should be equipped with a unique patented anion strip, which effectively removes the bacteria. This strip combats about 99.9% of bacteria and relieves menstrual discomfort. It's an iron strip, okay? So we will share more about that and you will know about it. I know of a fact that there have been calls to boycott some certain pads. I've seen them in the dailies. There have been FDA warnings against some particular pads. You can Google that, you will see it. So, you know, and I don't know if we know about tampons and the toxic shock syndrome they cause. There's actually a warning on tampons for that, you know. So we are here, we're talking all about this because it is actually research based. For those of you that want more knowledge, I actually have the PDF paper I can share with you later, you know, but we are talking about long reach pad today because long reach took time to look at the research out there and created and made a pad that is changing people's stories and their lives as we speak, right? I am one of them. I just shared my story. Like I said, I'm speaking from my heart today. I shared my story, and long reach pad is made in a special way that is different. So long reach pad has 8 layers. Chioma, do you have that 8 layers picture to share with us? Oh, okay. While you're looking for it, let's see. So long reach pad is made up of eight layers, actually. The first layer is the premium soft cotton surface. It's made from pure cotton. The second is a unique 3-dimensional flap. The third is the magnetic anion and far infrared strip. And I'll show us in a bit because we're going to do a quick demonstration. Chioma, you need to keep me on time. You know, I get carried away when I'm talking anything long reach products. So number 4 is soft air laid paper. Number 5 is the absorbing paper. All these are pure cotton paper, by the way. It's not that anything is the regular paper we talk about. Soft air laid paper. Number 6, and then number 7, air permeable bottom layer. Number 8 is innovative release form. And everything on the long reach pad is actually made from food grade materials, you know. So at this time, I'll try and give us a quick presentation, and I hope you bear with me. I need to move my laptop a bit and see how I will set it up. So we will see, we'll have a quick demonstration right now. Let me know if you can see it. So we will be using, sorry, I'll be right back. We'll be using what I call, we compare apples to apples. No need to compare it to something else. So I will set it up now so we see it. This is XYZ pad. This is actually what everyone will call the night pad here. You can see it's very big, it's very long. And you can see how I opened it. Oh, I want to share another thing that is very critical for me. You know, us women, are you listening to me today? You know, most of us put these sanitary pads and things in our bags, right? And carry them around for a long time. Meanwhile, we carry our bags everywhere. We throw a lot of stuff in that we don't take out. So women have not emptied their handbag for months. Most women's handbag, honestly speaking, scientifically speaking, is a petri dish with all sorts of things. But you see, with other pads on the market, they don't seal it 360 degrees. Can you see? This is open, and this is the pad right here. I can see it. I don't know how well you're seeing this thing, but this is the pad right here. Can you see? It's just open right here. And that means everything you're throwing into your bag that comes with germs, with dirt and whatever, can get into your sanitary napkin right there. It can get in there. So, but this is the long reach pad. First and foremost, it's not as thick as this one, but it is sealed. And I'll show you people, it's sealed all 360. So let me open it. And this is also our night pad in long reach. Can you see? It's sealed all through. So nothing can get into it. You actually have to practically open it fully yourself before you get to the pad. Can you see? All right. Another thing I wanted to show is all these other pads in the market, I'm sure we've all seen, I don't know how clear it is, but these blue pads here, right? Most of them have some blue or greenish like color. So the research and what should be there should actually be an anion pad, anion strip. But guess what? These companies just paint it a nice color. So you think your pad just has nice decoration and color. It's supposed to have something to do for you in your body, right? It is not just supposed to be a decoration. So let's try and put them next to each other. I'm not sure how well you can see it. So that's it right there, next to each other. Oh, I thought it was gonna be higher. Let me see if I can put more books so that we'll see it down. Yeah, there we go. Please, Choma, confirm we can see the pads. You're not gonna see my face for a little bit. Can we see the pads?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's do a quick demo. I'm going to pour just to show you the differences. I'm sure we can see the green strip on the long reach pad. So that's the magnetic anion pad that helps with discomfort and does many other things. Time will not permit us to go deep into this. You can ask whoever invited you here later and they will share with you. But we're going to put exactly the same amount of liquid on this, on both of them, to see their absorption and how it stays in there. So I'll be putting, since it's night pad, it's supposed to take a lot of fluid, I'll be putting a full 60 ml.
Is a proud sponsor of Disney Channel.
Please, can you mute that person? Thank you. So this is 60 ml. On the other pad, going in, and this is another 60 ml. On the long reach pad. This is the long reach pad. Same 60 ml. So we will start. If you can see, even this pad to the right, the other pad, it still has like a ball, small, tiny bubble on top that did not even go in, right? So let's first test the absorption. I like to start with a napkin to see. That was just a face napkin. Can we see how wet this is? Now, same on the long reach pad. Just within this time, can you see the difference? Just a little, and it's still absorbing, just within this less than a minute. Look at how dry it is because it has pulled in most of the moisture and has locked it inside. With this now, if I pick it and squeeze it, I'm pretty sure I will get some stuff come out. Can you see? This is the other pad. Now let's try the long reach pad. Can you see? Absolutely nothing coming out. And the funny thing is I can keep pouring more into this long reach pad and it will take more fluid than this other pad. Even though it looks bigger, it doesn't take as much fluid, as the long reach pad. And also, this is the kind of pad that when you use, you sit down or whatever, it will send all those germs and the blood that you have already expelled from your body, which is now bad blood, back into your body that will cause infections. But the long reach pad traps it right in there that it cannot go back into your body and cause more harm. You know, I'm trying to make this very simple, less scientific and all that. So long reach pad has a gel in it and stuff. Chioma, is this video very clear? Can you tell me, can you see it very clearly? The pads.
Very clear, very clear.
Okay, awesome. I want to show something.
Wow.
I want to show something. So inside long reach pad is a gel kind of form. So it forms the gel and it locks all the blood in there and it doesn't come out. We can see this is the cotton. You can actually see it quite clearly. And this is the anion strip we talked about, you know, that helps with the stress and discomfort and all that we suffer. So in this other ABCXYZ pad, let's tear it. Can we see? Some kind of paper that if I squeeze now, all the blood or supposedly blood will come out. And we can see it's actually plastic. If I pull it aside, trying to tear it, can you see? This top layer is plastic, right here, plastic. This top layer, long reach top layer, cotton, the way it comes apart, you can tell that it's cotton. So everything here is 100% pure cotton and would keep away the blood from going back into you. And of course, like I mentioned, the science behind the anion strips. We're here to give you more information. I know I've taken a lot of time, but this is the reason why we're shouting about this part, you know, and trying to show people the difference between it. You know, does it work? I've had a lot of people ask me, does it work? All I tell them is honestly try and find out for yourself. So Chioma, thank you. I don't want to take, if I'm not even taking all the time, you know, but I hope we've gotten something from this today. And I hope we'll go out there and think about our daughters, our children, our wives, anybody you know that you love that actually menstruates. You need to rethink the sanitary napkin, sanitary products they are using out there. Okay, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, when we talk about this thing of sanitary napkin, definitely we go emotional. You can see all the energy and the hype I had when we are coming, because this is an eye opener. So we can't have this kind of knowledge, we can't have this kind of information, and we keep it to ourselves. I would also want us to go back to our past program. The first one we had, the second, we shared lots of knowledge there. The first speaker we had, she had her research, and that is the reason why they are running this Party Girl movement so well in South Africa. And from the knowledge she shared with us, you can also make your personal research. She said each time we use underdeveloped sanitary napkin, we expose our body 16,800 times to germs. Then multiply it by the number of days we use the sanitary napkin. And for a girl child that starts menstruating maybe at 11, 10, now, unlike before, 16, 14, but now at 10, 11, our youngest, then multiply 16,000 times, let's say like 4 days, times the number of years that these young children will be exposed to underdeveloped sanitary napkin. We've heard it all. The knowledge that, you know, Leader Estella has shared with us. We've seen the reason why we are campaigning that people should change and start using this long-range sanitary napkin. I'll still come back to her for now. For now, I want to invite our next speaker. Thank you so much, Leader Estella, for that information, for the knowledge. It's so valuable. We have so much value. We gained value. Please, if you know you gained value, can you please type in there 111, 111. If you know you had more than one value, chat in there 222 333. And we are moving to our next speaker for today. Yeah. She is here with us. We want to appreciate her, you know, for sparing her time to come here and to also share with us her experiences and, you know, knowledge about this part, a girl part, a woman challenge. Because when we talk about girl, of course, we mean are younger, but when we talk about woman, of course, we mean the ones that are grown. And of course, you can save that young lady out there. You can. I shared with us my first video about a lady I met. We met through Facebook from Malawi. And when I was sharing with her about a product, the one she was interested in was the sanitary napkin. Why? She told me then she had fibroid, but because we lost, you know, contact, talking, chatting and all that. Then after some months, she sent something to me. I said, what is this? She said, something just came out. This thing came out of her body. I said, what? I said, do you have fibroid? I've even forgot. She said, you didn't remember. I told you. I said, thank you very much for introducing this sanitary napkin to me. You saved my womb. That was the language she used. I will share it with us. But today, now, we want to hear from a great woman we have here today. I know she will tell us a little bit about herself when I introduce her. So, House, please permit me to welcome to the stage a wonderful woman, Mamu Atigogo, as she share with us her experience about part of girl child movement and also about Longreach sanitary napkin. Welcome, Mrs. Mamu. We are pleased to have you here today, and I'm so happy to connect with you. You are welcome. So please, yes, you're welcome. So please, can you share your experience with us, your life experience, what it has to do with, you know, a girl child, woman, personal hygiene. Of course, when we talk about the women's hygiene, we start from our inner hygiene. You know, so many of us, we can look so beautiful, we can look so packaged, but our inner self, we are having issues. That was why I also invited our last speaker, because I saw what she posted one time. She's a YouTuber. So I saw what she posted one time on YouTube. She shared on Facebook, you know, holding a pant and with a stinking smell. And she was, you know, that was the capture. I said, what is Adama up to now? And she just said, those itching that you've been suffering, I have a solution. You need to see the number of comments. Go to her YouTube. You need to see women, people out there. They are having this personal issue. They don't know who to share with. Currently, I have someone who contacted me from Trinidad. The woman, it was one of our members that had to link her up. She was asking for a panty liner. She said she has been suffering. She's over 60 years. She said she has been suffering from infection for years. She said she has been to the hospital. She has been treated, but this thing has not stopped. He said it burns like fire. You need to see. At the time, I was like, she's as in the way she was mounting pressure on me. I should please do. I said, no, take it easy. But when I also look at her, she's a woman, what she's going through, I said, no, I need to, you know, rally around to ensure that I ship this product to her. These are challenges women out there are being faced with. So we have leader Mrs. Mamu to share with us today her experience and why we should be focused on this. So you have the floor now open.
Good evening, everyone. We normally say in Longreach, good morning, everyone. So I would, good morning. Yeah. My name is Mama Tigogo. I'm very particular about women's health. And I'm a project manager in the UK, but can you hear me audibly? Okay. I'm very, very particular about women's health because we have in Longreach, we actually have the products that do work. Our products do work. And Had a Girl project is very, very dear to my heart because I have a personal experience. I have, this is the reason why I started the business in the first place. It was because of the sanitary pad. That's why I even got interested in the first place. So I know that a lot of people, women especially, were used to harboring a lot of pain. We don't share our pain. We don't share it with anybody. We keep it to ourselves. And before you know it, months goes, years goes.
My certificate.
Experiencing all of this pain, but we have a product that can avoid all of this pain and all of this crisis, and we can be in a much better health. So for Party Girl project for me, it's not even looking at oh, I'm gonna get some money out of this. No, it's passionate for me. It's something about helping the next person, helping the next generation, making sure that they do not have or experience what I have experienced as a person, and making sure that we can actually lend a helping hand to someone who has no voice, like giving them a voice to speak out for themselves and for their generation as well. Because this goes a very, very long way, because one thing about our womb health is that if it's not handled on time, it leads to a lot of damages like fertility issues and all of that. And I know that Estella has said a lot. I'm not going to rehash what she said, but she's said a lot about all of the issues that can happen, even leading as far as to cancer. That's how far it could go because of the wrong materials being used for as a sanitary pad. So I will start with my story. Right from when I was younger, when I started menstruating, I started having heavy flow at a very young age. I started having, and I used to wonder why I would have periods and it will look as if all of my being, I'm about to escape out of my body, because I will be in so much pain. And as I got older, the pain got worse. It was excruciating all the time. And then after getting married, most of the time our mothers would say, oh, by the time you get married, all of this pain you're feeling now will stop. No, for me, it intensified. It did not stop. It increased. It got worse. And I was wondering, now, why would they tell us that when you get married, all of this pain will stop? But for me, it was the opposite. It just became worse for me. And as time went on, I started putting on a lot of weight. I didn't understand what was going on. Then I was obviously using the wrong pads. I didn't know anything about anion pads or anything like that. So I was using the normal pads and everything. And after a while, it was clear that I had developed fibroids. And everything that the doctor was saying to me was all about operation. It was like, oh, we're going to do an operation. And sometimes they were even suggesting, okay, taking out my womb at some point. So this is very, very close to my heart. It gets me really emotional when I talk about this, because this is something that has actually saved my life, and I wanted to save someone else as well. So for me, in December 2019, I had gone through a very rough patch. I was bleeding profusely. Every time I had my period, it was like a crime scene. And I'm not even making words up. I would be bleeding everywhere. It was uncontrollably everywhere. It was really very heavy. And I was scared to go out and things like that. And I had so much pain. The fibroids were horrible in the fact that anytime I had my bath, I was almost crying every day. And I almost slipped into depression, but thank God I didn't. So the thing about fibroid is that it makes you secluded. You're away. It makes you not to socialize with other people. You're secluding yourself because you think that when you put yourself in that state, you get healed, but it doesn't. It just affects you emotionally, and it affects you mentally as well. So for me, I was secluded. I went off Facebook. I went off all social media contact. I was not talking to anybody. I wasn't doing it. I was just by myself. That's what I was doing. And it really, really affected me. So in December 2019, one of my friends was already using the long-range sanitary pad, and I'd been looking for organic sanitary pads for a long time. And the only time the only time I actually saw the pads were in the US. And remember, I live in the UK. The cost of sending the pads to the UK was even more than the pad itself. So I said, okay, if I'm going to get this pad, how am I going to do it? Then one of my friends I've known for a very long time, she then told me about the sanitary pad. Do you know what happened to me? When she told me about the pads, I didn't ask her too many questions. She just told me that, Mama, look, we have organic pads in the UK. I asked her, what are you talking about? She said, it's in the UK. I'm like, okay. So so I told her that, okay, how much is it? Can I just pay now because I need it now? She was like, okay, that she will send it to me. She made an arrangement. And then she was trying to talk to me that, oh, why don't you just start the business? I told her, no.
Yes.
I just need the pad and I just need the alkaline pop. Yeah, that was the two things I needed at the time. So she sent it to me. And let me tell you something. I started using the sanitary pad December 2019. So I used it December. I used it January 2020 last year. The menstrual flow started reducing. I couldn't believe it that this is me that had suffered so much, that I have had so much bleeding. I had been away from, I've not had friends for a very long time because of everything, because of all the negative comments all the time from the doctors. And it looked as if, it's not as if I didn't have faith, but it was just so much negativity. And for me to use this pad, and month after month, the heavy flow started reducing. It did not reduce in one go. It reduced gradually. By the time we got to April 2020, I remember that day, I woke up in the morning. I said to my husband, I cannot believe that I'm no longer having no heavy bleeding, that the heavy bleeding had stopped altogether. And not only that, the pain, the excruciating pain that I used to have stopped as well. So all of that pain stopped. And because of it, it made me a better person. It made me that I can go out there to actually talk to someone about this, because I know that it has changed my life. Yeah, it got me from being emotionally secluded to being someone that can actually talk to someone about this, that we have a product that works, that this actually works. And I don't need to talk too much about it. It's something that I've experienced for myself, because I'm no longer having all those pains that I used to have. Because when I go back and I think about it, I'm always saying, thank God for my friend that actually told me about it. What if she didn't tell me about the sanitary pad? So that's why we have to be a voice to talk to other people, to let them know that this works. It's not going to happen overnight, but by the time you use it gradually and gradually and gradually, and not only that, by the time I got back to the hospital, they started saying to me, what are you doing? Oh, when I went for scans, they were wondering, oh, the fibroids, they were looking for it. They were looking for the fibroids because the fibroids were shrinking already. So the thing is, this is something very close to my heart. And I know that if I can use it, and if it can work for me, it can work for anybody. You do not need to suffer for so long. When I was using the other kind of pads, I used to have rash. Even on the first day of my period, I will have rash. But since I started using long-reach sanitary pad, that was it. It was over. The first person I told about the pad was my sister. She used to have rash every time. But since she started using the long-reach pad, she no longer has any of that. So for me, it has transformed my life. I have a better quality of life mentally, emotionally, socially. I'm no longer suffering. I'm no longer secluded. I can now come out and speak. I now have a voice. Longreach has actually given me a voice. It's giving me a voice. So that's my experience that I've
Oh, thank you. Thank you
improved.
so much. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Honestly, just like I was just, typing, I said, you both, Leader Estella, yourself, you people have saved lives, because what we are going to do after now is just to go out there. Everyone here, this is a call we all must answer. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for your transparency. Like you said, so many people don't like sharing about their personal stories. Some people don't like talking. And of course, we know that there are a lot of people out there who are also passing through the same thing, that just this story alone will help out. So we appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. So the only way we can, say thank you to Leader Estella, to Mamu for this story is just to go out there, just like she said. She said this is just a movement she's passionate about, because what she has discovered, the value she has gained from this part, she wants to go out there to help the girl child. Because just imagine, I also had, that picture. I said, if the sanitary napkin, people are using it now, it is treating infection. I've had testimonies of women that have used it, I've recommended it to, that has untreated infection they don't even know about. There is a woman who shared with me, I don't know if she's here. There was a time she came to me as a pastor. I should pray for her. She has been trying, and the baby is not forthcoming and all that. And, as I'm also a counselor, I just asked her, what is your experiences and all that. She now said, okay. And whenever I meet with my husband, after everything, I usually have this, when I beg, I usually have this offensive odor and all that. I said, okay. We prayed. After praying, when you pray, and God has also given you things in your hand that you can also help, and also, help to deliver people, help to provide solution. I told her, then I was not even serious about long range business and all that, but I know people have shared about this, the part with me. And I told her, go and use this pant liner, go and get this part, and also try, there's another product there. I said, use it and all that. This woman used the sanitary just 1 month. The next month, she sent me a message and said, Mama, you don't enter. I said, sure, this is, and I asked her, what about that experience, that offensive? She said she's no longer experiencing it. So this may be like an infection she had and that was not treated. And she was just assuming and all that. So please, that experience, that your story is for someone out there. So we appreciate you. And I know you are so passionate, ma'am, about, women's health, from the way you introduce, yourself. So I also have an understanding that when we are talking about menstrual flow, of course, we know that something is leaving our body. For women that also give birth, pregnancy and all that, something, it has a lot to do with our bone health. That is why we are tagging these two together. So it's not just the sanitary part, we're also talking about bone health, because I've seen some, I don't know, but from my little understanding, I've not made research about it. I know that women suffer more when it has to do with waist pain, arthritis, in fact, bone challenge. So I want you to also share with us today, do you think women should be informed about proper intake of calcium, both women and young people, and why?
All right. I would say it's really important for women especially to take calcium, and I would say not just in the supplement itself, even in food as well, because at the end of the day, all of the foods we eat, we cannot run away from eating vegetables. we can't run away from eating vegetables or eating fruits, because the older you get, you need all of this. And not only that, the thing about calcium, if you do not have proper calcium in your body, it affects the blood from clotting properly. Your blood won't be able to clot the way it ought to clot. So, for example, if you have injuries, it will just keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and it could lead to a lot of diseases. And that's what happens when you begin to have arthritis up and down. It's because the blood is not flowing properly in the body. Yeah, that's one. Another thing is that your muscle health as well. If you've noticed very well, like for some people, they complain about cramps. You're having cramp on your legs or having cramps on your hands or different parts of your body. It's just because of that blood flow. You're not having that proper calcium in the body. And once that is not circulated properly in the body, it can lead to all of this. Your muscles are not really functioning the way they ought to function. That's another thing. Another thing is that it could actually affect the nerve. It can actually affect your nerves. It can affect that's why if there's that arthritis, there's rheumatosis and all of that, is because of the nerves itself. So proper calcium is really important for every woman. I would say that as we're taking the supplements, we should also have the foods that we're eating, because I know that God has blessed us with a lot of vegetables as well, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, even as well as we're supplementing our foods. Is really, really important that we have all of this calcium in our body, because it's good for our bones, it's good for our teeth, it's good for every part of our body. And if we're not having all this calcium in our body, you begin to age faster than you are supposed to. Yeah, so it's really, really important. Yeah, it causes risk of osteoporosis as well. That's another thing, that if you're not having enough calcium into your body, that's another thing that it causes as well. So it's really important. The calcium is really important, because after you've had children, yeah, the children are going to take some age off you, but then you still need to replenish the calcium in your body. Yeah, so really, really important. Very important.
Wow, thank you very much. So we've had it. We need calcium. In as much as we take from our food, our daily consumption, we should also try to take supplements. Because
yeah.
Because I don't know, I think we had from the past show, we were told that we can't get enough even from the food we take. And also there are some other things we also need to be careful of, because some people may also, it's also dangerous when you have too much calcium, from the training. Yes, that's what we learned. That's why it's good for us to be informed and attend trainings like this. And we also learned that even men need calcium too, because they lose calcium, or they lose so much during the I don't know, is it discharge and all that. So men need calcium as well. So if you're a woman here, please, as you're taking your calcium, make sure you also, encourage your husband to take calcium. Men and women, we all need calcium. So please, the last question I have for you is, do you have, I know you've shared your personal story with us. Do you have other testimonies, out there about this sanitary napkin, about calcium, especially the field when you posted that Part A Girl, and are there testimonies outside yours that you can also share with us today?
Okay. So for the calcium, I used to have this is not particularly a lady anyway, but this is a man that was using the calcium. He started using it. He was he had this what do you call it? He had ulcer. Yes, he had ulcer, and not just ulcer. He had other ailments as well. But since he started using the calcium, that has actually corrected a lot of things in his body. So all that pain he used to have, the acid reflux and all of that has stopped. He's no longer having it. As at the first time I met him, he used to have it, but since he started taking the supplement, he's no longer having any of that. Then there's a lady that I recommended the sanitary pad to in the UK here. She used to have a headache at the back of her head constantly. She had that headache for like 1 year. But since she started using the sanitary pad, I could not even imagine how that one was even connected to her brain. But all of that pain that she used to have, all brain fog and everything, stopped. Yeah. So that's one person. And then my sister that used to have she used to have rash whenever she used any other sanitary pad. Every single time she always had rash and very uncomfortable during her menstrual cycle. As she started using the long reach sanitary pad, all of that stopped. The rash stopped as well. Yeah. So those are the testimonies that I have so far from the people that have used it. And then I have another one. Sorry. I have another lady that she's a friend of mine. I recommended the sanitary pad to her. by the time she bought it, she was like, she doesn't really try anything new. I just thought that she should try it. So after like 2 months of using it, she started saying to me that, oh my God, that this is the only sanitary pad she will ever use, because she was saying to me that the sanitary pad is so comfortable, that is very, very, very comfortable, that she has never ever used any sanitary pad like this that is so comfortable, that she was going to recommend it to her sister as well. That's another testament that I do have, that she likes the comfort of the pad. It's comfortable, it's airy, and it's cool.
Wow, thank you so much. So you can see, so it's not just about us, but people around us. We are affecting lives through the sanitary napkin. I know the commissioner, I don't know if the commissioner is here with us on Zoom, so that she'll also share with us their experiences, on the field. Leader Krina, if you're also here from Botswana, she'll also be talking to us briefly about her own experience in Botswana too. But before I call, I go back to Leader Estella, I would want Dr. Betty. I know she's here and she's a doctor among us. I want to appreciate her for always coming for this Zoom. She may not show her face because she's not prepared for this. Where is Dr. Betty? I'm trying to spotlight her.
She just left.
Oh my.
Dr. Betty just.
Oh, she needs to be here. Let me call her. I'll give her a call. She's a nurse practitioner, and this week is Nurse Practitioners Week. So let her come and share with us so that we can as well celebrate her, because she's always coming for the Zoom meeting. So, Leader Estella, while we wait for her, if I can get hold of her, I would want you, because I've seen a lot of people commenting and said, Dr. Betty, we need you on Zoom, ma. Happy Nurse Practitioners Week. We need you on Zoom. We called you, ma. Thank you, ma'am. She's coming back. All right. So I have heard so many people sharing and say, oh, this pad is expensive. If you provide, free pad for, for someone, you put like given free pad. Okay, you provide the first one. What about what happens after? What's your take, and what do you think about this? What people are commenting? Yes.
I wish there was like an easy answer to this, I'll first say that everybody deserves to have the very best, the good sanitary napkins they can get out there for their own health, and going forward in future. Now, sustaining it would take us, and this just being honest, sustaining it would take us to keep pushing this program and keep getting more people on board, right? So it's just now that more people are getting to know about it, more people come on board to do it. So we'll keep pushing and doing our best. Are we going to reach everybody? Certainly not. What we're trying to do is to get the knowledge out there. Part of what most of the girls are actually getting is the proper teaching and training on menstrual hygiene. That even is much more better or much more critical than the pads we're giving them, right? Because if they understand, okay, even if they decide they want to use the rags out there, right? It will be better to find a pure cotton-based wrapper to use and be washing it, right? Than to use the polyester type one. So the bigger idea, apart from touching them and giving them this, and I'm pretty sure for those who have maybe infections or whatever, it would resolve it at that particular point. So we're actually resolving something, but the bigger thing is the knowledge that we're putting out there. And it could be better. To be honest, at the end of the day, one of the things I always tell to people or say to people that I work with, or we talk about this thing is, at the end of the day, if you don't buy it, you say it's too expensive, right? And vis-a-vis, expensive against what? You have to know how to compare apples to apples, right? Or oranges to apples. We cannot do a banana and an orange. So, but at the end of the day, especially if you're one that can afford this easily and you just refuse to change it, are you now ready to take care of the consequences that are going to come ahead, ahead of you, which is going to be you spend a lot of money taking care of things that you could have prevented just by buying a pad that is a few naira or a few dollars more than what you normally would buy and spend. I mean, personally for me, it makes more sense to do that than to have to, at the end of the day, come and be mitigating things. That's the best way to put it. So, but for what we're doing, and I'm glad that you're working with the Girl Scout, that means there's a wider reach. I know a lot of people are doing different things around different places, even my own team working with different people. I've worked with different NGOs and stuff. The biggest one is the education that these young girls are getting, and they can carry it forth and do something else with it. Those who certainly have parents that can talk to them, they can talk to them and they will see if they can find another pad that is better. Yes, do I want them to buy long reach pad? By all means, because that's the one I trust the most. That's the one that works for me. But let me tell you something, and I say this, honestly, Long Reach is not the only company that makes this kind of pads. If go, all you need to do is Google. You will see them. There are other organic pads. So find one within your range that you can pay for, or whoever is paying it, and do it. But just change the pads you're using, because what you're using right now is causing you more damage, more harm than doing you good. It's as simple as that. And if you already have a problem out there, please do not suffer in silence. You've heard several stories shared today. And there are even much more stories than this out there, to be honest, right? So the thing is, gauge where you are and find a pad that falls within your budget that you can work with, but it should be a healthy kind of pad, all right? One with the magnetic anion strip. That is very, very important. And also that it's cotton. But of course, I say I have to end with this. Come and buy long reach pads.
Thank you.
They're the best out there.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes,
I just love the point that you made. That's the most important thing. If you want to compare, or you want to tell yourself, I can't buy this sanitary napkins, to ask yourself, will you be able also, to spend, do you want to spend more in future if, issues come up? So many women have also come to learn they don't like going for PAPs.
Pap smear. Yes. No, it's true.
I used to be one of them, because nobody wants to hear that place is cancerous. And one thing I've also learned through these meetings, that do you know that cervical cancer is a deadly disease, but it's preventable. It can be prevented. Yes. So why should we put our life under risk when we know that there are things we need to do to prevent this? So I want to invite Dr. Betty, because this week is Nurse Practitioners Week, and she has been with us on this Party Girl movement. She's also a nurse, and she's here. I just want her to say something to us, because we're talking about women's health, using the right kind of pad, and also bone health, taking enough calcium. Mom, I know she's busy. We didn't plan this, but I just wanted to say something. So that we will use this to celebrate the nurses. You're muted, ma. Can you unmute yourself?
Thank you so much for all you do. I really appreciate you inviting me, and all I've been following as and thank you, Leader Estella. Thank you. I'm so sorry, I don't know the name of the other leader. I was half listening and half dropping off the car. So, but Leader Chioma, you've been awesome, and everybody here, you're working so hard. And this week, like you said, rightly said, is our week. Again, every day is for every professional, but one of the weeks they bring out to honor and to remind us of all that we do. And I think they've all said it all. Women's health is really very important. because it affects everything. Women do a lot. We carry a lot in our bodies. We do a lot of stuff. And so caring for us is one of the biggest things we can do, and which unfortunately we neglect so many times because we care for everybody else, but we don't care for us. You know, we care for the husband, we care for the in-laws, we care for the kids, but we should always remember that we have to always have, you know, care for us. You don't give what you don't have. So sometimes that's it boils down to where we have problems, really, in relationships and stuff like that. So using a good quality sanitary napkin is very, very important. I am one of those who actually suffered a lot. During the pre-time I had my kids, I didn't have any issues, but for some reason, after I had kids, I was having issues upon issues with my menstrual cycle. And I will go, one day I was actually driving on I-95. I had to pull over because of the pain, the kind of pain I was having. I had my I leave, but unfortunately I went to work. By the time I was coming back, it already wore out. So really, this is also one of my passions. And unfortunately, my kids now, they are going through the same thing. My first daughter had the same issue. And but before we could come to Longreach, she already went to, can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc. We can hear you, Doc.
Yes. So unfortunately,
Yes, we can hear you, Doc.
Yeah, before we could come to Longreach, she's already gone to started using birth control because she will miss school. She will not eat for days before and just after her periods. So and then my second daughter, the same thing. When she started having periods, she's always in the medicine cabinet trying to get her a leave and all that. So it's actually also a passion of mine, and caring for the girl child and women in general is very, very vital that we do that. So I really appreciate all you do. And for calcium also, calcium bone health is very important because because of all we bear in our body and all the blood loss we have, we really need the calcium. But again, like I think was it Stella or the last speaker, we have to also be very careful. We have to also be very careful with calcium, because in as much as it's very good, it can also be dangerous if we have too much calcium in our system. So we have to balance them out. But it's very, very important that we educate everyone about those. Thank you so much.
Wow. If you have gained value today, if you have gained so much, can you please send some fire emoji, send some love, those on Facebook, send some love, and we'll quickly take few questions. We've already spent time. Today I love, if it's just these stories that we heard and we are off for today, I am happy, I am satisfied, because this passion I have, the burden has multiplied. Hearing from Leader Estella, hearing from Mamu, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Yes, I hope, because the passion has increased. Now, hearing from Dr. Betty, thank you, Leader Estella. She was the person that quickly reminded me. Dr. Betty is here. She said, I didn't know. Can you imagine? Just because of the experiences her girls are having, they are taking birth control before they met this Longreach sanitary napkin. So this is a call we all must answer. Sorry, I apologize for this video. If you cannot take, you can just mute. I don't know what happened. Oh my God, what happened? It's like I'm sharing the wrong thing. It's like I'm sharing the wrong thing. Okay, let me get it. Okay, this is what I want to share so that we can also hear a personal testimony of someone I have, so that we know how critical this is. How critical this is. Please, I would want you just to read the write-up. You can see the dates there. You can see the dates. This was exactly what the person shared. What the one that is at the back of, what's the one that matters a lot to me is when she said, where can I pin it? When she said, God used you. Okay, this is where I asked her, do you have fibroids? She said, has been bleeding for 3 weeks now. God healed you. She said, God Almighty, you can see this is indeed it. She said, thank God for having you around. That is the point. You can be that answer to someone's prayer. He said, this one is a big one. And everyone said, you had saved my life, my womb too. This is a young lady. This is a young lady who she's not yet married. She will get married. But look at what, God have used our connection to do for her. So are you that person there? Are you that one on Facebook here watching this? Are you that one on this Zoom? This is not just like Leader Estelle. I said, we can't reach everyone, but if you would join force with us, we will reach more. So that is why we are calling on you. So if you have any question before we draw a curtain, can you please, I think we'll only take one question, but if we don't have, I am so satisfied for this meeting today. Please, I am so satisfied.
Pastor C, before we take a question, there's just something I want to share quickly with us. The funny thing is that a lot of women, when you said that pap smear, I started laughing and smiling. Even basic vaginal health, is that place healthy? Is it what it should be like? A lot of us women either have no idea that you can check it and stuff like that, or don't care. One of the things I love about the long reach sanitary napkin, that's the mixed pad box especially, is this wonderful gift that long reach so freely gives women inside. It's something you use to check your vaginal health. It's a gift. There are several of them inside. And you can use a simple swab, will tell you where you stand at that point. So it's something that helps a lot of women out there, helps them to check, the health of downstairs there. And hopefully you will use the products and they will keep everything healthy and, right down there. So if anybody has questions, please come through. And also I wanted to say something actually. Thank you, Dr. Reggie, for sharing your story. As you were talking, I was busy nodding, because I really crushed my own story very small. There's nothing they've not given or done to, just to help me through my life period. So I understood what she said about her daughters and stuff. And this is also, we've heard several stories from several people. You may know somebody that is suffering this out there. It may not be you, but you may know somebody. Please tell them what you've heard today. Is there help out there? There is help out there. All right. Let's answer some questions.
Thank you. So can you drop your question? If you're on Facebook, you can drop, we'll take it. If you're here, we just answer one, because we already spent. I want to appreciate everyone for your time. I want to appreciate everyone, appreciate the men out there who, let me just tell you something. I just saw a particular man on Facebook. He's also into this Party Girl campaign, and he was in a secondary school, trying to teach them with the teachers and the students. Some of them say, how much is the pad? And when he told them, they say, oh, it's expensive. When you see their mom, everyone is struggling with giving them, I'm using Naira, 300 Naira pad and all that. Do you know what the man now told them? He said, I am telling you this now, because tomorrow you will be out there. You are grown, you are working, so that you will be informed and know the right kind of pad you should use. Correct. He said, let me tell you something again. He said, if you desire a gift from your parents, when they're telling you, what do you want me to get for you during my birthday? And you have this knowledge now, you can tell them, get me a box of long-reach sanitary napkin, because my health is more important. This is a box and you can use it for a year. Yeah. For a year. And I have this thing that I posted one time on Facebook. I said, you're a woman. You can afford to buy weave-on. You can afford to buy hair of, okay, let me assume for, low-income people in Nigeria, know that you can afford to buy hair for 6,000 Naira. You can make braids of 1/5 of 2,000, or I don't even know. Before I left, I know you can make braid of 1/5, but I don't think now you can make good braid of 1/5. So, and some people brag and say, I can't even carry one particular hair for like 2 weeks. And you are using, okay, generally we use phones. You will see some people, they use big phone, and you don't care about your inner health. You don't care about your future. Then if you even ask, how much is the pad? Someone will say, in Naira is 31,500. In dollar is $92. Spending $92 for your inner health. Like, you see the gift that comes with it that you can easily use to swap and to know how your inner self. I'm telling you, this is nothing. It's not even up to the money we spend here and there, we throw here and there. So women, like Dr. Betty said, we care for others, we care for everybody. At times we forget to care for ourselves. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of you. So I don't know if you have any question. If not, I will call Leader Oge to round up, then withdraw the curtain for today. Do we have any question? Do you see any question? Please go on YouTube, Chama Mama Edosa. You will see the first edition. You will see the second edition. Or also on a Party Girl page, you will see the first, second edition. Just, watch, share with people, and let's go out. This is a campaign for everyone. So if there is no question, I don't know. Okay, someone asked a question. He said, someone has not had her period for years now after her ovarian cyst operation. She has been using the sanitary napkin for long now. What else can she use? Thank you. Okay. I think Leader Mamu said something about it, that one need to be patient. Let me allow her to answer this question.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Yes, I actually said before that when you're using the sanitary pad, you have to be patient because everybody's body is different. For some people, it might take a short time. For other people, it might take longer. So when you're using the sanitary pad, you really have to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight because we talk about toxins in the body. It may have stayed in the body for such a long time. And what the sanitary pad does, it detoxifies your body as well because of the anion strip. So it's something that you will have to use for a while for it to actually start the period again. Yeah. And then if there's any medical issues, you need to see your doctor for that.
Yeah.
Of course, for her to know ovarian cyst and all that, that means she used to see a doctor. Please always work with whatever your doctor asks you to do. And also, it's not just, so this person that asked this question actually also sent me a direct message. I tend to ask a lot of questions before I start saying this is what you may try. So first thing, of course, always do what your doctor says you should do. Secondly, in working with people who already have medical issues, so that means we're now at the mitigating stage. It goes beyond only the sanitary napkins. You use plus the panty liners, there are certain other things. And that's why I asked the person to please also reach out after, because I would ask more questions to understand. I found people that say, oh, I use the pad or I use the panty liner, nothing, I didn't see any difference or whatever. And when you dig deeper, you find out, they're not using it correctly.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. You cannot be wanting to solve a problem and you put one panty liner from morning to evening. Come on now. Right? You understand? Right? And there are certain ways to use the panty liner. Okay, the next question. How long did you use it? Oh, I used only one packet. You see? So like Mamu says, and I'm picking back off her, is something you need to use over a period of time. Bodies differ. I've seen people, like I had a friend, you were asking for testimonies, and they said this. I remember when she told me her issue, we spoke quickly. I said, okay, you need the panty liner. Of course, change your pads. There's no point putting only panty liner and you go back and use bad pads. So it's both pads and panty liner, but we put panty liner and this is how you use it. And we started. In 1 week, she called me, she said, Stella, is something up? Because I used to feel this pull. You know, that's always pulling her inside. And I'll say, you remember you said you had little fibroids and stuff. This is what is happening. So he's doing his work. We've had people say that. So, and that's just a little extra. But of course, always do what your doctor says. Anything long reach is a support to what your medical professional has advised you to do. Please, I always even check with them, especially with supplements and stuff, if it's actually something you can use for with your medical.
Yeah.
You
Very
see, Dr.
important.
Betty agrees with us.
Yes,
Outcomes may differ, some shorter, some longer time to see results. Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah. And also, like we are saying, make sure you also see your medical practitioner. Please ensure you see them. Very important whenever it has to do with health. You just have to. And there was an experience I had one time. A woman I was trying to introduce to her, but she said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you my age. I've entered menopause. I don't need something." I told her, "Go and get the panty liner." So we're also talking about, somebody might say you are here, "Oh, I'm over 50, I'm not menstruating again. I don't need it." You use the panty liner, because I have testimonies of people that it's also help, that hot, I've not reached that
the menopausal menopause wahala.
Yes, even elderly women. I know of a woman, she's presently in the UK. She has been sharing about this long reach calcium, panty line, everything. She's an elderly woman. People was telling her, it's like, your daughter, what happened to you about all these pains and all that? It's like your children sent you something from UK. She said, no, it's long reach, and all that. So everyone can take, even the male, they can take it. This panty liner, you can use it. Sorry, I said take. You can use it. So if you want to know how to use it, that's not what we're not doing that today, but you can private chat us. You can speak to the person for male. They would tell you how to use this. It can help to prevent post-rec. I'm not saying this would it can help. So it can help, and also some other waist pains and some other things. So I appreciate everyone for coming. So we are wrapping it up now, Leader Oge. So come on board, and she's also a healthcare worker. She's also on this movement with us, so she will be concluding, and we'll say bye for today, and appreciate you all and expect the next edition.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Dr. Betty. Thank you, Estella, Leader Estella. Thank you, all the leaders in the house. I appreciate you for being so nice to us. The co-host, Leader Mamun, I'm sorry for destroying this name. I need a spank. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dr. Betty. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this third edition of Party Girl. I appreciate each and every one of us, people from Nigeria, people from, hey, if I don't call where you're coming from, don't kill me today, please. I like calling people from where they are coming from. Leader Ozamaka, I see you there. Different people from every place. We appreciate you coming on board today for this third edition.
I saw Chicago. I saw Belize. Ma'am Hilda is from Belize.
Oh,
so we're starting Party Girl in Belize.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. I'm here to say thank you.
New York.
And this Party Girl thing can go further and further and further. We cannot finish it in a day. Nobody will want to talk about long reach pad or pant liner and finish in a day. I don't think it's 30 minutes is not okay. 1 hour is not enough for long reach panty liner or sanitary product. You can't finish it in an hour. We have wonderful product that you can talk about for all day long. Everybody has a testimony. I have testimonies of people that bought, people that they say is heavy. They used to put 2. But the first time they bought long, she put 2 and she said, nothing transfer. I said, what? She said, what is this thing you gave to me, Ogechi? I said, I told you. And that's how the heavy flow stopped. So this part is something that we cannot finish, something extraordinary. Let me use that word. But like our leader said today, you need to talk to your doctor. You need to go ask what is going on. You need to tell them what is going on. We are only giving this as help. But that is what we're doing. You need to see your doctor still. Another thing I want to say, in conclusion is this: for those that do buy that we give today, and maybe tomorrow we are now able to give to you again tomorrow, you don't have the money. What I think, like Leader Stella said, what I would say SD, why am I calling us leader? Are we not going to be star directors? Star directors that are shining here. By the time star director Stella finished, she said something about encouraging people to get more. If you don't have it today, if you use it today and see that it's good and it's working, what do? You try to save towards it. You work towards something, anything that is good that you want. When you want to eat Gary, you plan to buy Gary for the next meal. You don't want to eat Gary today, tomorrow. You want to eat a egusi soup, or you want to eat amala and torero. You want to make a better one tomorrow. So what do? You save up for it to make a better vegetable soup. You don't want to dip your hand into the soup and the water is dropping all the way down your elbow. No.
As we are already saving up for Christmas. Sorry, cutting you short. Some of us have saved for Christmas expenses.
Like, people do isusu for Christmas. And by the time Christmas, the same way you can do isusu for your sanitary napkin to get the best out of it. We do isusu for different things. We do isusu for Christmas. We do isusu for holiday in Paris, holiday in China, holiday in, what is it called? Maldives, holiday in, what is it called? Anywhere there is, you save money for it, The best Christmas gift that you can give to yourself is the best. Get one box for a year. Close your eyes and get a Christmas, make this like a Christmas gift for yourself. Say, this year, I'm going to get a box, it's for me. Or next year, I'm going to get a box, it's what I'm using throughout. Let's pay for things that we need, sacrifice. All these young girls can buy. They buy underwear that they go to, what's it called? Victoria's Secret. They spend a whole lot of money there. They go to shop and they spend, girls have money these days. They want kind of money they have. And those days when we went to school, we're not seeing money like that. We're just seeing cabin biscuit and milk and bonfit and chocolate and Milo. That's what they give us, and a packet of St. Louis sugar to go back to school. Or you take Casaflex, that's Gary, to go to school and drink when you go to school. These days, they go with big money. They all have phones. They go like a big, they want to be dropped off in school with big cars. My children were telling me, don't want you to be dropped. They like it when daddy dropped them with his car. And that kind of it. You guys know. What is good. So that same way, I would advise us to save money for that one box a year. One box is enough for a year. Don't kill yourself over what you can afford. Making hair one day, I said one part for 2,000, you can do it. Let us do it. I appreciate everybody. I don't want to take us longer than this. Thank you so much, and meet us next time. When we call you in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back here again to do this same program. God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye. You are muted, Leader Choma.
Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you, Leader Oge. Why are we calling everyone to join this campaign? We are calling school owners. If you're a school owner out there, you need this information. You need to gather parents, talk to them during your PTA meeting. People need information, knowledge. Information is power. You may never can tell that life that you will save. If you are out there and you also want us to come and address, you have people you want us to address, we have people in at least in some places we can to address and talk to people, at least let them be informed. That is why we're doing this movement. And if you are blessed, God has given you what it takes to pad 100 girls, to pad 10 girls, you can. Someone just sent me, someone sent me 3 boxes of pad just to support the campaign. Someone sent just a box and said, I'm supporting this campaign. You can, if God has blessed you, you can, just like our leaders have shared. You see how they said some young girls, this was what they met. This was as in their experience in the field, that some girls use, cloth, and some of them, they share it. This is so pathetic. I'm telling you, it's so pathetic. I saw one. They said some of them wash to reuse. They says, I'm telling you what experiences that people have in the field when we're talking about, you can imagine the kind of, infection, the kind of gynecological issues that these girls are exposed to. Even women, both rural and urban areas. I'm telling you, some people say, oh, it's better give people food to eat and all that. When you give people food to eat, fine. There are people who has that passion and burden to give people food. There are people who also have the passion and burden to take care of people's health. So we are all working together. So if you give people food to eat and that person is having infection, disease, that is there. So which is better? So we have to really balance it. So we are calling on everyone, whatever you can do. You can start it in your state, you can start it in your country, you can chat us, you can call us, and we'll share ideas with you. We just want to save lives. But remember, work with your medical practitioner, work with your doctor if you have issues. We are just offering a solution, something that can help. So thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. We expect your support on this Pad a Girl Child. Just one pad. It can be a Christmas gift for one girl, for one woman, and one calcium. It's just okay. Let's just go out there and share this information, and also share this video. Share this video, share this video, share this meeting, and help save life. I appreciate Leader Estella. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you for answering this call. Thank you, Leader Mamu, all the way from UK. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate Dr. Betty. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leader Oge. Thank you, the Commissioner of Guest Guiding Mostate. She's not here. Thank you all that are doing this amazing job with us. Pad a Girl Woman Movement and Bone Health Challenge. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone. Leader Oge, that was her duty to appreciate everyone. So we appreciate you. Those on Facebook, those watching from YouTube, those on this Zoom call, we appreciate you. We love you. Yes, thank you also for coming in. Thank you, and see you some other time. We'll share the flyer and we'll let you know. Bye for now. God bless you.